auxiliary power circuit and the associated problems with the auxiliary power circuit. And today's topics are the duty of loco pilot when QLA or QOA are energized, and when QLA, QOA are energized, how to isolate the defective auxiliaries and working precautions. On run, if LSCHBA is glowing, how to troubleshoot and how to work the train further. And when headlight is failed, how to troubleshoot. And on run, if CCA is melting repeatedly, what are the duties of loco pilot? In these 5 parts concerning to the auxiliary power circuit we will discuss. And before that, you must know how the auxiliary power circuit gets energized. So auxiliary power circuit gets energized when pantograph is raised and touching to the contact wire, then DJ shall be closed, then supply enters into the main transformer. Main transformer is earthed through loco body. As soon as the main transformer gets energized, auxiliary transformer also gets energized, and 25 kV is reduced to 415 volts single phase AC supply. This 415 volts single phase AC supply is induced in the auxiliary transformer, and since C118 contactor is already closed before closing of the DJ, Arno gets single phase supply with another split phase, and Arno starts working. And as soon as the Arno starts working, its W phase is connected to QCVR relay, and QCVR AC coil gets energized. Apart from that, DC coil also gets energized. So here the Arno is a rotary converter which converts single phase AC into 3-phase AC, and that 3-phase AC is supplied to MVSI1, MVSI2, MVSL1, MVSL2 and MPH, provided their switches HVSI1, HVSI2, HVSL1, HVSL2, HPH are in 1 or on 3 position. So here, along with Arno, 5 direct motors will start, and the duty of MVSI1, MVSI2, that is the function of MVSI1 and MVSI2 is to cool the RSI blocks. Function of MVSL1 and MVSL2 is to cool the SL's smoothing reactor, and the function of MPH is to circulate the transformer oil. Then, along with Arno, different static loads also will start. They are cab heaters, battery charger, cab fan transformer and a notch repeater. Now after that, loco pilot closes BLCP switch according to HCP position. C101, C102 and C103 contactors will close. Their concerned motors will start, that is MCP1, MCP2, MCP3 will start. Their function is to create MR pressure required for loco working as well as the train formation. After that, when loco pilot closes BLVMT, C107 closes, MVRH starts, whose function is to cool the transformer oil and RPS. After 8 seconds, C105 closes and MVMT1 starts, whose function is to cool traction motor 1, 2, 3. And after 8 seconds, C106 contactor closes, MVMT2 starts, whose function is to cool traction motor 4, 5, 6. Now all 11 motors are started and loco is ready to work further. And this auxiliary power circuit is protected by an overcurrent relay called QLA, which is set at 1400 amps in WAG5 and WM4, and this QLA is set at 2000 amps in WAG7 and WAP4 locos. So this QLA protects auxiliary power circuit from overcurrent in case of any short circuit. So on run while working, if DJ is tripped and on notice if QLA is energized, QLA relay target is energized, then the duty of loco pilot is to check the auxiliary power circuit equipment for any smoke, smell, fire or decolorization. So where he has to check? He has to check A0, A1 terminals near MVRH. Loco pilot has to check Arno and its capacitor bank and its RCC panel. He shall check QCVR, C118 contactor, R118 resistance, Q30, RQ30, UA1, UA2, battery charger, cab heaters, cab fans, TFVT, MVSI1, MVSI2, MVSL1, MVSL2, MPH, HVSI1, HVSI2, HVSL1, HVSL2 and HPH. MVMT1, MVMT2, MVRH and MCP1, MCP2, MCP3, AC MVRF and their contactors C101, C102, C103, C105, C106, C107, C108 and MCP capacitor bank. If any abnormality is noticed in any of the equipment, use fire extinguishers, isolate that equipment and resume traction. We will see further how to isolate different auxiliary motors. If no abnormality is found, there is no abnormality, the train is running, loco pilot or crew can reset QLA, close DJ and can resume traction. If QLA is acted second time, so on run the due course he is working the train and QLA is acted second time, check the same auxiliary power circuit equipment for any abnormality, and if the loco pilot finds any abnormality, he has to do same, that is extinguish the fire, isolate the equipment, close DJ and resume traction with precautions. And if abnormality is not there, if there is no abnormality, loco pilot shall contact TLC and he should seek the advice of TLC whether to reset QLA or not to reset QLA. So that is a troubleshooting procedure when QLA is energized. Now again we will see another relay called QoA relay. This QoA relay is called earth fault protection relay. One end of the QoA is connected to neutral of the Arno and another end is connected to positive of the battery. In case of any earth fault in the auxiliary power circuit, earth fault means in case if any cable of the auxiliary power circuit comes in contact with the loco body and the circuit is completed back to battery negative through HOVA, through loco body, and QoA gets energized. In such case, DJ also trips and on run if QoA is energized and DJ is tripped, since DJ is tripped, the loco pilot has to troubleshoot like this. There are two cases of QoA, that is target can be reset or target cannot be reset. And when QoA is energized, loco pilot has to check the auxiliary power circuit equipment, that is A0, A1 terminals, Arno, its capacitor bank, RCC panel, QCVAR, C118 contactor, R118 resistance, Q30 or Q30, UA1, UA2, battery charger, cab heaters, cab fans, TFVT, MVSI1, MVSI2, MVSL1, MVSL2, MPH, HVSI1, HVSI2, HPH, HVSL1, HVSL2, MVMT1, MVMT2, MVRH, MCP1, MCP2, MCP3, AC MVRF and their contactors C101, C102, C103, C105, C106, C107, C108 pertaining to AC MVRF. MCP capacitor bank also has to check for any smoke, smell, fire or high temperature or any other abnormality. In case if there is any abnormality, extinguish the fire by fire extinguisher, isolate the defective auxiliary and resume traction with proper precautions. If everything is normal, reset the relay target and resume traction. Since we are dealing, QoA is able to reset. So target is reset, close DJ and resume traction. If QoA drops further after long interval, he has to do the same thing, check the auxiliary power circuit equipment once again. If any abnormality is noticed, isolate it, that is extinguish the fire, then isolate it, then work the train further with proper precautions. And if abnormality is not there, everything is normal, then reset the relay target and resume traction. Again, if QoA is dropping frequently, that is previously we have seen frequent QoA is dropped energized after long interval, but here QoA is dropping energizing very frequently. The loco pilot has to keep HQoA on 0 position, clear section with precautions and contact TLC. That is the troubleshooting procedure for QoA action. And if QoA drops while closing DJ, for example, QoA is energizing frequently and while closing DJ, if QoA is energized, check Arno, MVSI1, MVSI2, MVSL1, MVSL2, MPH, battery charger, A0, A1 terminals, cab heaters, cab fans, capacitor bank of Arno and MCP1, 2, 3, TFVT, C118, R118, Q30, RQ30, UA1, UA2, HVSI1, HVSI2, HPH, HVSL1, HVSL2 for any abnormality. If any abnormality is noticed, extinguish the fire, reset the relay target, close DJ and resume traction after isolating it. If QA is not energized while closing DJ, and observe whether QoA is getting energized after closing BLCP. If QoA is dropping energizing while closing BLCP, then check MCP1, MCP2, MCP3 and their contactors for any abnormality. If QoA is not energized after closing BLCP and close BLVMT, if QoA is energizing while closing BLVMT, check MVRH, MVMT1, MVMT2 and their contactors C107, C105, C106 for any abnormality. If any abnormality is noticed, extinguish the fire, isolate the defective motor and work with precautions. And we will see how to troubleshoot when QoA is energized and the target cannot be reset. On run, QoA is energized, DJ is stripped and we are unable to reset QoA. Then we have to check the auxiliary power circuit equipment for any smoke, smell or fire. If there is any abnormality, use the fire extinguisher, isolate that equipment and resume traction. And initially ensure all EM contactors, that is after energization of QoA, ensure all EM contactors are open. First, keep HQoA on 0, clear block section. After clearing block section, trip DJ, normalize HQoA. Now QoA acts again. Since for clearing section we have kept HQoA on 0 and after normalizing HQoA, again QoA will energize. Now as a loco pilot, we will troubleshoot in a sequence manner, that is, we will first initially isolate static loads by keeping BLRA in off, by removing CCRA 1 and 2 fuses, by removing CCVT and CCSPM fuses, and try to reset QoA. If still we are unable to reset QoA, isolate the direct motors by keeping HVSL1, HVSL2, HVSI1, HVSI2 and HPH on 0 position, and also keep HCHVA on 0 and try to reset QoA. If QoA is reset, there is a problem maybe in any one of direct motors or battery charger. Isolate one by one auxiliary motors on trial and error method. Then close DJ and resume traction with precautions. If QoA relay is dropping or we are unable to reset, even when HQoA is on 0, that is in the block section only, place hoba in off and try to reset QoA. So this is how we will troubleshoot when QoA is acting and QoA is able to reset and QoA is unable to reset. Now we will see another part of the auxiliary power circuit, that is how to isolate the auxiliary motors and static loads. For static loads, of course, we can remove the fuses of cab heaters and cab fans, that is, we can remove CCRA1, CCRA2, CCVT, CCSPM, and keep HCHBA on 0 position. And for different auxiliary motors, the isolation of MCPs is change the position of HCP so that the defective MCB can be isolated. That is, if MCP1 is burnt, keep HCP on 2 or 3 or 2 and 3. If MCP2 is burnt, keep HCP on 1 or on 3 or on 1 and 3. If HCP3 is burnt, keep HCP on 1 or on 2 or on 1 and 2. So that is how you can isolate single CP. Now, for isolation of MVSI1 or MVSI2, we have to isolate concerned truck, that is, keep HVSI1 on 0 along with HVSI1, keep HVMT1 and HVSL1 also on 0. It gets isolation of one truck, that is line contactors L1, L2, L3 will not close. Thereby 3 traction motors are isolated. Hence, work with 50% of the maximum permissible load. If MVSI2 is burnt, keep HVSI2 on 0, along with it keep HVSL, HVMT2 on 0 and work with 50% of maximum permissible load. And for isolation of MVSL1 or for MVSL2, keep concerned HVSL1 or HVSL2 on 0 position, and along with it keep the concerned switches on 0. Isolate the concerned truck either bogie 1 or bogie 2 and work with 50% of maximum permissible load. And for isolation of MVMT1 and MVMT2 also, same, keep HVMT1 or HVMT2 on 0, and along with HVMT1 keep HVSI1, HVSL1 on 0, and if MVMT2 is to be isolated, keep HVMT2 on 0, along with it keep HVSI2, HVSL2 on 0, work with 50% of maximum permissible load. And for isolation of MPH, concerned switch HPH shall be kept on 0, close DJ and ensure MVRH is working. That is, here the condition is MPH and MVRH both shall not be isolated, any one of those should be isolated, at least one should be working. And work with 920 amps of starting current rating to the traction motor, and continuous current rating shall not be more than or shall be restricted to 500 amps to the traction motor. And check transformer oil level frequently. If MVRH is to be isolated, place HVRH on 0 position, close DJ, close BNVMT, and ensure C107 is open and MPH shall be working. And starting current rating shall not exceed 920 amps to the traction motor. Continuous current rating shall not exceed 500 amps to the traction motor. And observe transformer oil level frequently and clear block section within 5 notches. If you require more than 5 notches, pack Q118 in energized condition and clear the section with the minimum possible notches. So this is how we should isolate the auxiliary motors and static loads of the Arno based auxiliary motors. Then we will see how battery charger functions. This is the battery charger circuit. This battery charger circuit is a static device. It gets supply from the Arno, and this static battery charger steps down 380 volts AC from the Arno to the 110 volts AC, and that 110 volts AC is rectified to DC, and that DC supply is given to all LT circuits of the locomotive. It gives, that is, all Panto, DJ, line contactors, reversers, etc. All control circuits are fed by battery charger. And another duty of the battery charger is to supply voltage or to charge batteries in the loco. The working of battery charger is indicated by energization of a relay called QV61. And when battery charger is working, its ammeter will show towards the charging side. Now we will see if the battery charger is defective, how to identify and how to work the train further. If battery charger becomes defective, on run LSEHBA lamp will glow. Now LSEHBA is glowing on run and the DJ is not tripped. So Locopilot will try to clear block section. Meanwhile, ALP shall enter into the corridors and he will check battery charger ammeter, whether ammeter is showing towards the charging side or not. Then he will check for any MCB on the battery charger unit. If any battery charger MCB is tripped, that can be reset once and you can work the train further. If everything is normal, then check battery voltage, which should be above 90 volts, and clear block section. After clearing block section, keep HBA on 0. After keeping HBA on 0, if DJ is tripped, that means battery charger is defective. If DJ is tripped, battery charger is defective after keeping HBA 0. That means, so far, though battery charger is not working, batteries were giving supply to all LT circuits and we have kept HBA on 0, by which we have cut off the battery voltage also, and now all LT circuit will not get supply. DJ trips Panto lowers. That means after keeping HBA, if DJ is tripped, conclude that battery charger is defective. If DJ is not tripped, conclude that QV61 relay is defective. So since battery charger is working, if relay QV61 is defective, ignore QV61, ignore LSEHBA, work the train further normally with certain precautions. That is, the precaution is you should check always battery voltage. Then, if battery charger is defective, that is, after keeping HBA on 0, DJ is tripped, Panto is lowered, then isolate battery charger by keeping HCHBA on 0 position. And already we have seen MCBs, if they are tripped, you can reset them. And after isolation of battery charger, that is, after keeping HCHBA on 0 position, work the train for 6 hours in daytime, 4 hours in night time, duly observing the battery voltage, which shall not be less than 90 volts, that is, which shall be more than 90 volts, and try to use less battery voltage. So this is how we should work the train when LSEHB is glowing on run. Now coming to headlight. Headlight is a simple circuit. It is used only in the night time, and in the night time if headlight is not glowing, ensure ZRT or ZPR switch is in on position. Operate front headlight twice or thrice Then check rear headlight also whether it is glowing. If rear headlight is glowing, that means front headlight bulb is fused. Now you can replace the front headlight bulbs. If rear headlight is also not glowing, switch off ZRT or ZPR, then change the position of bipolar switch on the DC-DC converter. Change the bipolar switch position which is having 2 units of the DC-DC converter, change to another unit and you can resume traction. If still headlight is not glowing, we can observe 40 kmph in the night time, duly ensuring marker lights are working. So today again we will see the troubleshooting procedure when CCA is melting repeatedly, even hobaing off. That is, we are working a train, CCA fuse is melted, DJ will trip by opening a EM contactors, and after troubleshooting, that is after picking up abnormal sign, crew experiences operation 2. So in this operation 2, Locopilot gets a trouble of CCA melting. Locopilot has to replace the fuse. If it is repeatedly melting, Locopilot has to keep hobaing off and change the fuse. Even then CCA is melting. Then the procedure of clearing block section we will see. That is, since all EM contactors are not closed, 6 motors will not work. They are MCP1, MCP2, MCP3, MVMT1, MVMT2 and MVRH. Since their concerned contactors, EM contactors are not closed, since CCA is melted. Here, for clearing the block section, we have to wedge any 2 CP contactors out of 3 CP contactors. So ensure safety valve is blowing. Then since compressors are continuously working, there is no cut in and cut off. We have to create slight air leakage from the centrifugal dirt collector or from MR1 or from MR2, and ensure that the MR pressure is maintained in between the prescribed limits. Now we can clear block section within 5 notches, since after taking 6 notch DJ will trip, and we are unable to clear block section within 5 notches if load is not permitting, if gradient is not permitting. Then we can wedge Q118 in energized condition and clear the block section with minimum possible notches, because MVMT2, MVMT2, MVMT1, MVRH are not working, and there is no cooling for traction motors as well as for transformer oil. So with the minimum possible notches, clear the block section, then contact TLC for advice.